Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us for this session on how the Easychart module was built. Can you understand me in the back? It's okay? The sound? Yeah, it should be. Before we start, I just want to introduce ourselves. This is Thomas Daem from the Flemish government. He worked here at the Department of Bestuurszaken. And I'm Jan-Yves Vanhaverbeke. I work for Apps & Kaas, a digital agency based in Ghent. The floor is yours.
Already my turn. Hello. So, like Jan-Yves said, I work at the public governance department of the Flemish government. Over there we got some core businesses, and one of them is delivering integrated reports or data to other governments. And for that, of course, we need lots of numbers and data. But like everybody, our bosses, our management doesn't really like the raw numbers. They prefer the abstract beauty of the lines and the curves, like, you know, charts. So we need charts. Everybody needs charts. What slide is this? Yes, good. And for those charts, we use the Highcharts JavaScript library. We knew that from before, so we just want to keep that because it's a very good library. Why don't we use Google Charts? No particular reason, we just knew Highcharts from the beginning and we went on with that. Anybody here knows Highcharts or not? Worked with it already? Yeah? In a Drupal site or just, yeah. So I don't know how you did it, but we, at the beginning, we just, yeah, these are the charts. Maybe first we'll explore them on the website. The Highcharts. Great.
Ik denk dat hier nog staat, het scherm nog.
Nee?
Anders ben je langs.
Yeah. Other window, yeah. This is the Highcharts Demo page. For those who don't know it, make sure to check it out. It's a very good library. They got lots of more chart types than Google Charts, and lots more of configurable options. Yeah, the basic ones, but also very, very cool ones, like, let's say, this one. Yeah. Great for dashboards, great for management. Yeah. So we went down with the Highcharts. How do you build them on a site? Just like every other jQuery library, you just need to know a little JavaScript or jQuery. Okay, this is a string you need to configure your Highcharts. The only problem we had was that nobody at our department except two of us could write such web language, JavaScript or jQuery or whatever. That was a really huge problem because we got lots of data, lots of chart on our website. I will surf to it. Website which is made by Calibrate, another bunch of cool guys, those people. Just to show you, you can drill down in all those themes and get more charts. Okay, up, okay. These are all Highcharts generated charts. So I'm here right at the problem. Nobody could write that string for us. Oh, this is for Jan-Yves later. So I thought, yeah, let's just write an interface to configure the string, to configure the Highchart. And that's when Jan-Yves and Apps and Kaas came into play, and they helped us out with it. And Jan-Yves will tell us, or tell you, how he did that. So we've seen this, okay, the panic attack, and now the solution.
So the main issue for this client was that managing all the charts was a very technical matter, very difficult, especially for the editors. They want to add charts to the site, but they don't want to have all the complexity that comes with it. So when they came to us, the main need for them was to provide a user interface, very simple, that allows their users on the site to create their charts, which means, technically seen, combining CSV data with their configuration. It's a good point. It was nice for us to have a client that wants to invest in a Drupal module. They have specific needs, but they agreed to spend some more time and more money on it, just to make it more generic, to make it into a Drupal module. So it was a nice challenge for us. We sat down first to look at the requirements. Because it was a Drupal module, it had to be good in usability. But also for them internally, it was important to have it as simple as possible to work with. Drupal integration was important. It had to be in the Drupal normal workflow, so nothing out of the normal way of working. On the other hand, they also wanted it to be reusable in, let's say, WordPress or other frameworks. So there had to be integration, but also some kind of loose coupling between the two. And flexibility was important for them, but also for me, as it was a generic module, it had to be adaptable to everybody's needs. So the way we approached it was to build a proof of concept first, a very basic text field, some options, and a chart next to it. This was based on Thomas's first attempts to build something. Once we had that, we turned it over into an actual jQuery plugin, so something that really works standalone with a basic user interface. This plugin is available on GitHub. I will just show you what it is on its own. And I have to switch back. So this is the jQuery plugin. What it does, it's a demo page built for it. You have some HTML with one div in it. You have some JavaScript that attaches to the div, and it generates this interface. So you can choose a type of chart. You can add in some basic options like my demo chart. You can add in some CSV data, which I will
copy paste on here.
Yeah. Which I can paste in. You could also use a external CSV URL that you have somewhere online. Once you finish that, you can have pretty much all the options that you have in Highcharts, but they are really advanced, so we keep them in a separate tab. So this was the first working demo version. Nothing to do with Drupal, but working on its own. The next step was to go back to Drupal and combine all those things together. I'm not really used to this computer. So the next step was to combine everything together. So a Drupal module, the Highcharts library, and the Easychart plugin. When you started with your module itself, we had to make some choices too, and we quickly agreed on having a new field type, because we have to combine several pieces of information together. So you have the CSV data or the URL, you have the configuration options, some Easychart specific data, some JavaScript and some CSS. So we built our own field type, which I will show later on, as a starting point. Because we wanted to have a really one-step setup when you install the module, we also created a content type, which has a title, a body field, and one chart field, just to make it really easy to start with the whole charting thing. I will just show you in a vanilla Drupal how that works. Chrome. Yes. So if you install the module and you go to add content, you get this new chart content type. You have your title. I will just create one very quickly. My demo chart. Description. I'll keep it very simple for now. And then this is actually your the new field type, the chart field type, which adds this button. And you get the whole plugin in a kind of pop-up. So it's integrated, but it's also very loosely coupled to not have too much hard integration. I can make my chart again, save it. I get the preview next to it. I can delete it. I can configure it again. Then you get your page with the chart in it. What we did to make the integration possible is to have some public functions in the plugin that make it possible to transfer the different kinds of data back and forth between Drupal and the plugin. The advantage of having the content type and this approach, the field type and the content type, is that it's very easy to make, say, your own content type with several charts, with several other important pieces of information next to it, all combined into one package. The third step that we attacked was to have a WYSIWYG plugin, because they also wanted to have the different charts in their page next to the text, next to other images, and so forth. So we created one. None of it's set up, yeah. We made one that works with CK Editor and TinyMC, because they're the mainly used WYSIWYGs. If you click on this new button, then you can just see all the charts that you have created. You can select one, and it will be included in your WYSIWYG, between your text or your images or whatever. Then I want to get back to my presentation. Keynote. Then in terms of configuration, we wanted to add some flexibility to the whole thing. We have some minor configuration hard-coded in the plugin, just for now, because we can't handle all the different types of charts, all the options that Highcharts offers. But we wanted to make those options available also in the Drupal backend, and add some global options too. Global options mean you can have some configuration that applies to all your charts, like the background color or your name under every chart, those kinds of things. The challenges that we had while doing the development was to keep up with external plugins like the Highcharts plugin. While we were doing the initial version of the module, the 1.0 version, Highcharts came with a new version of their plugin, so we had to make a choice: do we change all our code and go to the new version, or just stick with what we have? They also launched a cloud version of the charts, which was very, very similar to what we were doing. So we had to decide: are we going to go through with this module or just stick with their what seemed a better option? But it's going to be partly paying their solution, so it's good that we kept with our plan. And also another challenge was to keep the customer needs separated from the actual generic module that you're creating. The customer is paying for it, so they want specific options in the module, but you also have to think about the big user base that will be using the module. So we had to sometimes just scratch features and just put them in some custom module for the customer. That's the technical part. I think Thomas can now show how they use the Highcharts on their site, which was, of course, the most important. Can't find the word. Thing. Yeah.
So these are all the charts we already configured with our new module. As you can see, there are quite a lot of charts. Before we used to do this all manual with script tags in body fields in the node. So right now we got all our charts centralized, which is very, very useful. How does it work? Just like we showed before. With our plugin, we just edit and configure our chart. So before, when we needed to change a chart and number, it happens a lot at our department. We always had to dive into the JavaScript code in the nodes, but right now we can do it like this. Just change the values here. In our newest release is that we can work with a URL to a CSV file. A CSV file which will stay in sync when you change the file on the server. The data will be updated here too. In this current installed version here, the 1.0 version, this isn't the case. So the CSV data will be read in and stored in this field. But with the new release, that isn't the case anymore. Data will stay synced with the CSV file on the server. I'm not going to change these data here because it's a live site. My boss won't be that happy. Yeah, there isn't very much to show actually, because it speaks for itself. But I will give another preview here. On easychart.org, we've got a little explanation about how to install, and we got a few more demos. I got a page here. Voila. As you can see, once you've built a chart, you can reuse it everywhere. So right here, I've made a page with several panels. You could use it here, but like Jan-Yves said, you can always reuse it in a basic page or in an article, and so on. But here I will change a chart for you. Voila. Configure data. As you can see, the first 2 bars from the first series will be updated immediately when we save this. This one. I can add here another chart. It's an existing node. Something with car Mars. Yes, this one. Okay. Finish. Save. And voila, there it is with edited data. So far for the demo. Make sure to try it on your own. You can. We got this little user DIY, which you can use to try it yourself. Back to the presentation.